So I moved into New York City from Long Island in the summer of 2007, and I'm telling you, I was suffering from a broken heart, all right? I'd broken up with my college boyfriend, and then we got back together, and then we broke up again, and then we got back together, and then just for shits and giggles, we broke up again. And, the thing is I couldn't shake him. I couldn't get him out of my head. During the day, he would call me and he would tell me that he cheated on me with a freshman who was a blonde, and both of these things pissed me off royally. And then I would tell him that I called his mother and told her exactly what kind of son she had raised, which is vindictive and mean, but I loved it at the time. And then at night, we would call each other, just to hear each other breathe. And I would cry, and I would say how we were young and we were stupid and we were screwing up, and he would say, I know, and I want to be a better man, and we'd have these really huge conversations for being 22 years old. But we'd do it every damn day in 2006 and 2007. We tortured each other for 2 years. And the thing is Patrick was like the sweet spot of what I love in a man. He was beautiful, but in a way that was very specifically me, because, guys, I have a type, okay? It is a very specific type. It is Clark Kent with a little bit of an asshole on top of it, all right? I like tall men. I like dark-haired men with floppy hair you can run your hair through, and if we're getting a little dirty, you can also pull at the right times during the night. And I love when they have a little bit of a nerd and you can talk to me about comic books, but I love when you're so cocky that you're a little bit of a dick in public, but you're actually a sweet guy. It is a constant in my life. I do it all the time, and Patrick was right down the middle for me. And so I couldn't shake him. And so the entire time that I'm in New York, I'm on the subway, which, by the way, is a weird spot to have this kind of like weird existential crisis talking about love and relationships. But for some reason in New York, that's what you do on the subway. You have these weird like thoughts in your brain, or you're just listening to like those kids that are telling you it's showtime and they're about to do all of the acrobats. Like, that's what you do on the subway. So what I would do to conquer it is to try to just read all the time and not close my eyes and fall asleep and think of, the green eyes with the golden speckles in them that would just stare, and not try to think of like a crooked smile that he had, which kind of just went up on the right side. And I'd read all the time. And the thing with the subway is you have a lot of time to do it, and you read every damn day that you're on there, and you just try to get through your day, just like everybody else on the subway is trying to get through their day. And in May of 2008, I'd been in the city for 2 years, and I was bartending, and I was dating, but like, honestly, if you had asked me, I was still stupidly in love with the boy that broke my heart 2 years ago. I hadn't talked to him in 6 months. I hadn't seen him in a year. And I'm on the subway, and I'm getting into Union Square, right? And Union Square is huge. It's a huge subway station. It's where the buskers don't just have guitars. They have like full-on fucking drum kits. And there's like, preachers telling you how the world's gonna end the next day, and they totally don't get the irony that they're there every day to tell you that the day's gonna end, the world's gonna end the next day. It's loud. There's so many people, and when the doors open, the sound just pervades the entire area. And so I'm nose deep in a book, trying desperately not to pay attention to the world around you. And I would love to tell you at this point, like, honestly, guys, I would love to tell you I was reading something really like profound. I wish I was reading The Stranger. I wish I was reading one of the Russians, but it was the summer of 2008, so I was reading what everyone else was reading, Twilight. Just like the rest of you, there's no judging here. And I was all in it with like Bella and Edward, and I'm just like changing the pages. And for some reason that day, I get into Union Square, and for some reason, I look up, which I never do. I look up and I turn, and right there is the floppy hair that I love, and the green eyes with the golden specks that I loved. And he's standing there, and I'm telling you right now, the world stopped. It got quiet. It didn't matter I was in Union Square. It didn't matter that there were drummers and preachers. It was just me and Patrick on this subway. And he looks at me, and he smiles, and he raises his hand, and he just waves. And so I raise my hand, and I wave. And in that moment, I know this is weird, but I swear to you, I forgave him. I forgave him from every dumb thing and the slut that shall not be named. I forgave him for everything, and he forgave me for being a little crazy for 6 months. And we just had this wonderful moment, and I wanted to tell him that it didn't matter that we were young and we were stupid. It didn't matter that we weren't the right people and that we were going to become better people. We were going to figure it out, and we were going to get back, and we were going to circle around, and it was going to be wonderful and perfect, and I was going to be telling our grandkids that life gets weird and you screw up, but you can get better. But I didn't. I didn't stand up, and I didn't go and tell him that because the doors closed, and as soon as it happened, it was done, and I was in a black tunnel in the subway. 3 months later, Patrick was on a rooftop, and he slipped, and he fell, and he died. And I know. And I never saw him again, and I never talked to him again. But I can still close my eyes, and I can see that beautiful face, and the beautiful hair, and his beautiful voice. And I swear to you, I think it was New York City giving me a gift. And it was the gift of forgiveness on the subway, which is like the heart of the city. And I don't know, it makes everything a little bit better. All right, thanks.
Come on, big round of applause for Kim.